few or no few or no relevant supporting examples or facts, some relevant examples facts given, many example facts given, and most relevant, and many relevant. The fourth criteria is use of rebuttal. Arguments made by the other teams are responded to and dealt with effectively. No effective counter arguments made, few effective counter arguments made, some effective counter arguments made, and many effective counter arguments made. And the fifth and the last criteria would be presentation style. The tone of voice, use of gestures, and level of enthusiasm are convincing to the audience. Freestyle features were used, not convincingly. Freestyle features, the second is the same, and the third one convincingly, and the fourth one is all style features were used most convincingly. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you very much, Shreya. Now, without further ado, let the games begin. We wish all the participants here the best of luck. And once again, like we have stressed upon many times, please remember to maintain the meeting decorum and appropriate behavior. And thank you. The debate can start.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Simranjeet Kaur of 8th H from DLDA Model School, Pitampura. Today, I am supporting printing books over ebooks. But before starting to debate, I want to say that a book is a dream that you hold in your hands. I strongly believe that printed books will be what people will prefer in the near future. Nowadays, it's a general conception by people that ebooks are more beneficial than printed books, though that's not the case. In recent years, printed books have seen the better for your brain and your health, according to science. Printed books are much better reading option than ebooks. Here are the reasons. One takes in more information. Evidence shows that readers of printed books absorb and retain more intrigue than readers of ebooks. According to an interview with young adult readers, all of them retain information longer when they read in printed format than on digital. Reading may be faster with ebooks, but they find it hard to recall information. Printed readers also performed better in other areas, such as empathy, immersion in the book, and understanding the narrative. Better concentration. With a printed book, there's no chance of getting distracted by links or getting stuck down an internet rabbit hole of looking up the corrective term. Ebook readers, on the other hand, are more easily distracted simply because the internet is within their reach. Digital readers tend to spend more time searching for keywords than processing. Reading from a book helps a lot in relaxing. Any person, for a time being, forgets their worries of the day and gets de-stressed. When you're winding down for the night, reading from a screen or scrolling through a social media app on your phone is proven to be not a good idea. Health benefits. Study after study has demonstrated that blue light on your screen can toy with your melatonin levels and wake up sleep cycles, making it difficult for you to fall asleep and making you feel to give your eyes a pause from prolonged exposure to digital screens. Electronic books can cause dryness of the eyes. Reading on devices has been found to cause a lot more eye fatigue than reading physical books. Reading printed books won't cause any problems like these. Cost effectiveness. Ebooks require various resources like a computer or an active internet connection. Sometimes e-libraries charge some amount of money from the users. That Printed books are less expensive and can be used anywhere, like in a park, under the shade of a tree, in a library, etc. Anyone can afford a good book, which can be a great source of inspiration for the years to come. Reliability. There are wide ranges of ebook devices available in the market, and it's difficult to choose just the right one. There's also fear of piracy, leading to incomplete reading, while paperbacks are having a sense of completeness. Caring. You need to take utmost care of your device when you are reading an ebook. If you accidentally spill over your milk on it or drop it off, repair or replacement will cost you a lot of money. You can sleep with your Kindle, but you can sleep with a copy of a thrilling novel of your choice. Books don't need any introduction. They're considered humans' best friends. They never complain, demand, still, they can help you in so many ways. They give you a special feel. Nothing's better than a book in your hands and knowledge in the mind. To summarize, a printed book is very useful, exciting, inspiring, and satisfying. Thank you and have a nice day.
Now the proposition can make their opening statement, please.
Is anyone who's speaking against hardbound books or paperbacks?
Yes. Greetings to one and all present. I am Sanvi Sharma of the Barilal DAV Model School. It is truly said by someone that one has to get modern with the modernization of the world. In today's era, the world is getting advanced and modified, including one of the most important of electronic books, commonly known as ebooks, has started now. Honestly, there are countless benefits of ebooks. Let us suppose it's past few hours to dawn and you are having a crucial task that needs to be accomplished on urgent basis. For that task, you require a very vital item. Guess what? That is books. But how would you arrange the printed books in a swift way at night? Yes, they are electronic books, which would come into play. Anyone, anytime, and anywhere. You can definitely not carry 100 books from one place to another, but an electronic device can store and thus transport 1,000 of books anywhere in the world. They are easily readable and accessible and also save a ton of time. A vital concern has been raised by the scientists that deforestation is rapidly increasing. The chief cause of deforestation is the production of paper. We humans cut down 80,000 to 160,000 trees around the world every day and use many of them to make paper. See, trees are getting cut to a greater extent just to publish the printed books. But in the case of ebooks, there is no wastage of paper. Many papers are used in documentation in the courts as well. After the lockdown, even the courts of the India are becoming digital. Recently, the Court of India has suggested to minimize the work of paper documents but increase the use of ebooks. Therefore, ebooks save our money, time, and energy. There is no need of printing. Because of printing, a lot of funds, a lot of valuable and precious time, and even the energy of human is wasted. They are simply available anytime and anywhere. Hence, I would like to conclude that the use of printed books should be reduced at all of us. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rishka Malhotra and I want to speak in the opposition. The points spoke by Sanu Sharma. I just want to say that people could also be saved books instead of not making them. And how she said that energy is not used when we are using an ebook. But how far is it true? because to get a concern on them, because we can get distracted and our eye got strained because of the light that is emitted by the screen. Two, I have one more point in the opposition, that is we can carry 1,000 books to a place, but for carrying that we need the space in our phone. I am with the point that we can carry, but we should need the memory, we should need the space for that. So it's not that much comfortable with ebooks or printed books, both the books, to carry to another place, 1,000 books at a time. And why we need to carry 1,000 books?
Well, you said true. But if we need any book for just a purpose, we can share thousands of books anywhere from just a link or else. You can just relate it. And for that, we don't really need a lot of memory as well. And as you said, that energy, how energy is not wasted. Look, in the printing, a lot of energy of the humans, or you can say the people, are wasted. For the printing purpose, we need time, and you can say we need also humans that will focus upon the printing purpose. Whereas in the e-book screen,
I just want to say again, I said that how far the energy is not wasted. Yeah, energy is wasted in painting, but not for of the humans. That's for the machines, because now we use machines to print, not humans to print. They're not printing. And another thing, we are just reading a book. So when we read a normal book, a paperback book, so that is not too much strain our eyes, that doesn't strain our eyes too much. But for book, we need to strain our eyes, our eyesight can get weak, and we need to spend more and more time on the technology. And even everyone don't have the access to technologies, because those people who do not afford to buy the technology, how can they read?
And Rashmika, I would like to answer this question of yours on behalf of my team. I would just like to say that there are different options available, such as reading more, or the brightness option is also available, which helps us to strain our eyes. There are real clear-cut glasses available in the market, which can be used for ebooks. And as per you are saying that people don't have access, almost in everywhere we can see that people are using smartphones. Even the like a beggars we will notice that having a smartphone, so it is very much accessible, and on sites like Wattpad it is pretty much free, so one can use it very easily.
Again, you said that device is available to less strain our eyes, but that device is also to be afforded by money. And those who do not have money to afford even a single phone, how can they afford those devices, those ebooks which you are talking about? Because a paperback book, it needs around, you can say a book is around 500 rupees, not more than 500, but a phone is the starting range is only 6,000 rupees.
No, I would like totally oppose you in this thing, because phone are also available in the second hand thing, and people can pretty much buy them very very easily, and it is very comfortable for and each and everyone is having a phone right now, so it is very simple to have it. And as per the glares I told about, we also have reading mode available in the phone or laptop as well now, so it can be used very easily.
I would like to cross question this, that how can you say that like they'll be able to view or read the ebooks, like they need the internet connection on a laptop and a phone. And even if they use the data, there are monthly charges for that. Not everyone can afford that. And also for the phone, not every people, like even if you see, take the example of India, not everyone can afford a phone. That too of 6,000, they can barely afford food of one time. How can you say that they can afford a phone of 6,000? And lastly, one more thing, that it will last up to 2 years, maybe 4 years, or maximum to 6 years. But what will happen to it after that? It will eventually stop working. You'll have to throw it out. What about that electronic waste that is produced? That is very hazardous and is poisonous, and it itself is a threat to Mother Earth. How would you like to justify over here?
The devices which you were talking about can be repaired very, very easily, as multiple people of school, children of schools as well, that they are starting a business where they are repairing devices such as Kindles or mobile phones and selling them in cheap. So that's my answer for this question. As per the mother nature, I have already told.
Moreover, I would like to question the against people that in the printing a lot of money is wasted, and for the printing we need a lot of paper. How about that? A lot of trees are getting cutted every years just to produce a single
Are recycling the books, and that paper is again reused. So you can't say that there is a wastage of paper here. Yeah, but trees are, I'm agreed with the deforestation, but now it is minimized to a scale because we can recycle the paper. There is an alternate to deforestation for using paperback books.
Now, not only deforestation, but soil erosion is also like a major cause, which is factories are going on. Like they are establishing every day. So what about that?
Moreover, not everyone contribute in recycling of paper.
Yeah. How would you like to describe?
You're
Um,
saying that factories are established every year, they are going to establish, but what about that, that offices are not establishing for generating the ebooks as big companies, as have offices branches to spread over.
I would like to add one more point here that if a book is kept properly or like is provided with care, that can last many years as compared to a Kindle or electronic device. It can last maybe like 6 to 10 years or maybe more than that. So for that time, you have that book with you. You don't have to like discard it. You have that, you can read it. But in Kindle or the electronic device, one day if the board or replacement is done, one day it will eventually completely stop working and you can't do anything there. And the electronic waste is increasing day by day due to these things. And like we are not able to provide a way to that, how we can save Mother Earth in the terms of the electronic waste which is being produced. So how would you like to justify this point?
Keeping that in mind, one print book is heavy enough. And what if you need to carry 5 books or even say 10? Ebooks provide now you can carry a whole library in your pocket or no need for extra luggage during your trip anymore. This was the answer for my justification.
I also want to add one more point. This might seem a strange one, but it is certainly true. Physical books are theft proof. For example, if you leave a book in front of seat of your car or unattended in a public area, it is almost certainly going to be there when you get back. Case of if you tried with the same thing with your iPad or Kindle.
And Kindle is also to be bought. Even the ebook edition is also bought in Kindle. So if you buy a ebook and then you have to leave it after 6 years, after 4 years. So it's just like a rent for 4 years, 6 years. But if you buy a paperback book, it's not like a rent. It's with you till the end of the life. If you take
What about the health hazard which is being done? Even if you get those glasses that helps you in viewing the electronic device, still there's a strain on your eyes, even if it's less, but there's still that can cause a health hazard and it itself is a
No,
threat. So
I
how would you
say
like
it's
to
also
justify?
there in the paper books. I am not saying that it is not in ebooks, but it is also present in the paperback book. So that point can't be denied, as you have seen multiple times that people are getting thick glasses while they are reading books. So so that a person's eyes. It's like normal book, a paperback book is also straining the eyes first.
Technology is the part of our daily life. There are many devices like a screen guard glasses, or you can say a screen guard for a laptop that reduces the strain.
I agree that technology is growing, but I want to say that see, strain comes when there is a paperback book in your hand. But the radiations are gonna to be emitted by the screen and that are more served than the strain which you are getting from reading a paperback book. Even that emissions, that radiations could cause problems in your body also. Means sleeping deprivation is a very common problem now.
Indeed, that is a disadvantage for this, but this is always a truly eco-friendly option and not only contribution to lowering the environmental impact publishing houses and printing industries in general make. Many people have their specific terms in reading and eyesight. With ebooks, you can select a reading mode that is more suitable for your eyes. But some people have like old people have problems of eyesight. So how can they see in normal books, printed books? Ebooks provide a very convenient solution for this situation.
Like we all know, ebooks require power source that is battery. As a result, if battery is not charged, power source is not available, and when you outside, power source is not available. So reader is deprived of access of ebooks. Na?
And I would like to add one point here that even if a person is blind and they wish to read a book, they can read a printed book through the braille script which is there. But in ebook, would like to justify this.
Ebook
Yes,
is an option
ebooks.
that we can.
We also have ebooks which always include audio narration, which give everyone the ability to read a story while being read aloud to. Children are able to learn new words and hear how they are properly pronounced. Read aloud options in ebook are both beneficial for new and old readers alike.
And one more thing, that in the ebooks we can increase the font as per our wish. So I don't feel that blind people will have any problem, or you can say the old people will have any problem to read books. And one more thing, the ebooks are like dictionary in your hands. If you have to search a meaning, or you can say a synonym or antonym of a very particular word, then how would you search it in a dictionary? It would take you too long to search it. Whereas in the case of ebooks, we just have to press a button of search and we can search the meaning of any particular word in a second.
Actually,
I
I'd
would
also
like to add a point here that if a person is deaf and is blind as well, and they wish to read a book, look for ebook over here. The printed book
We
will
can look for
only be
ebook
the
in
choice which a person will.
like Samsung is
how
Yes,
can
using
and
kind of devices which are
a
they
printed
totally
book
as
is
they have braille in there, so we can use those devices. There is a sensor present where a person can actually read braille language. That's simple.
1 minute, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt. We have noticed some people are not getting chance, and so we want to give them. Jasmine, Akshara, please take your stance, and then then again you can start debating. I'm sorry to interrupt. These people have not spoken, so we want them to speak so that everybody has a chance.
Yes, I also want to add a point that when you think from the author's viewpoint, an Amazon free ebook versus paper book opens up a world full of endless opportunity books over the web without any printing cost.
yes, it is easy. But I wanted to say that if he publishes a book that is very beneficial for human health and that also gives us more information, an ebook is stored for you can say for you can take almost 20 years. If you have to see any line, you have to you have to reread the book for some knowledge. So it is more preferable to read it from a paperback book than an ebook, because it would be difficult to find that point on an ebook.
I also
Sorry to
want
interrupt,
to
but
add one
I
more
have
point.
you may continue after, then I'll ask.
Another reason why ebooks cannot replace we are about to get to the end of a mystery or so, our phone will ring several times and sometimes will ping you on a messenger, and your link in concentration will go for toss, and it may distract our attention from the ebook and even make you forget about it. Now imagine reading a real book and getting completely lost in its story. Even if you are distracted for the time being, see it. And this may not happen in case of an ebook.
And what about the price of the electronic device or maybe the Kindle? Not all people are able to afford it. So, like, if they wish, maybe there's a poor person, for example, and they want to read a book. Okay, and they can easily go to the market and buy one book with that, and they can gain the knowledge which they want. But if for an electronic device, they'll have to first like save that much amount of money. Maybe that's not in the power. So how would you like to say
Are getting
Having
free
having
available
said that,
everywhere.
they can even go to a library to read a book? They can go there and just read a book of their choice. They don't need to buy anything in that case.
Nowadays, a library requires some charges. You can't just go and sit in a library to read books. They also require some money charges. So definitely you will have to make a card for the library that will also cost you.
Point I want to add here, the question is that the charges you are giving for reading the book in the library, are they more than the charges that you are spending on an ebook that would be with you for more than for almost more than 10 years, 12 years?
Yeah, ebook, you can just have a like a Wattpad if you take as an example. It is a totally free site. You can even publish your books or you can read books. So that is really very simple to do. Or reading an ebook on sites like Wattpad or Book even, it is paid and it
I
is
would
totally free.
And also for the money, monetary matter, one can go to the public library. That's free of cost. Just go there and read a book. You don't need anything, any internet connection or maybe or the price or the money. You don't need anything in that case. So
I
that's the
would
easiest option a person can do.
I would like
But
to
if
answer
the
the
library is not near, then how will you find that?
interrupt, but I would like to answer the Rashika's question that she asked few minutes ago, that how can you find a statement from an ebook? You know, there are many apps that can highlight your points and you can easily get to know the statement or the particular word. But I wanted to ask that if you wanted to find the meaning or the definition of a particular word, it won't take you too long in the dictionaries or in the books. Whereas in the case of ebooks, it's just a work of seconds.
I would also like to add one more point that if you want to find a particular line, that you were reading a line and you just lost it, maybe your mother called you for something or you just went for some work, but when you came, you lost the page and you just remember the line. How much time it will consume to just find that line or that page to find that? So how will you define that?
We can use a book, we can use a highlighter to find that point. And another thing, that in dictionaries, that the word is safe with you when till the time the dictionary is safe with you. It is very hard to find the meaning of that same word in the ebooks again and again, that you have to search again and again. I agree that it's very take a long time in the dictionary to find, but you can adjust a bookmark there. You can highlight that word. You can fold that page to find it fastly, more conveniently whenever you need to use that
For
word. So
search
Want to
tools,
add one
you
more
need
point
the
to
internet.
Sarah, and I also want to add one more point to Sarah's point, which she said few minutes ago, that sometimes in library to buy sometimes in in public library it costs to buy it costs for a book, but it is not that much expensive than to buy a Kindle or an iPad. So how will you justify the statement?
Add one more point here. So having a library at home is linked to a higher academic achievement, isn't it?
But won't it
But
cost a lot of money for making a library at your own home?
now earlier your teammates only said that a person can't afford a single phone, and then now you're talking about having a personal library at your home. Isn't that something which is totally imbalanced? And Akshara, as you said, by let's say you are going to a library and you didn't go for the library, the charges will be like 100 rupees or like even the 50 rupees. So a person is after getting issuing the book and then getting it again and again will cost time as well as money. So it is a one-time investment buying in Kindle device or just having a mobile phone where you can read on free only.
But
What would you
if
So,
one is viewing a ebook on the internet, for that you need an internet connection, and their monthly fee applies with the printed books. You need to give money for if you want it to be at your home. So and also there are some campaigns for like donating books to the children. Even the storybooks are there, so that can also be a solution over here. So how would you like to justify this?
and I also want to add one more point, that personal library is not that much costly as in consider or in comparison to ebooks, because see, the rent of the internet connections, you have to buy devices, you have to even buy ebooks which are available on for you on internet, and that too for a short period of time, say 4 years 6 years. But in a personal library, you need, that's a one-time investment, that you make a room, a big hall, wherever you may want to make a library, you can buy books, you can keep it there safe, you can read it anytime. There is no in and again, and they are not for a specified time period, that's 2 years 4 years. And two, there is no charges of internet and all.
actually, I
And
would like
also
to add,
for the printed books which are there, not all printed books have a digital copy which you can read in the Kindle or the electronic device. Like maybe a book which was printed maybe maybe 40 or 50 or maybe more than that, which was printed that years ago. You can't find it in the electronic device. So how would you like to say over here?
And I also want to add one
books
more point.
available on Kindle on any devices, so we can read, and that's, I don't think that's a worry.
actually, I would like to answer
And
Rashika's question. So, like, basically, Amazon's free ebooks cost far less than a physical copy because the costs do not cover the manufacturing and shipping cost. The overall cost, therefore, is minimum when compared to other startups.
I
and I
So
also want to add one more point, that of achievement that as a printed book. And if you look at the book and you come to know how many pages more to go before you finish reading it, and looking at the number of pages you have finished reading, you get encouraged to increase your pace. And however, an ebook does not motivate you to complete a book in a similar
And
way.
please justify that. How can you say that all printed books which are there, there's a digital copy which you can read? copy.
And also in electronic devices, there's a chance of breakage, and printed books can last longer for years and years.
See, if you are gonna to replace your phone, you buy an ebook. It's gonna to be there with you till the time you do not replace your phone. But when the phone is replaced, you would keep that phone aside. And when you buy an ebook, that ebook is just a printed and textbook which is gonna to be downloaded in your phone. When you want to reopen that book in your another phone, how can you?
Look, ebooks are also based, some sites on ebooks are cloud based. So that is a that is very unreasonable question. One can just use that Google Drive either or the site they're using. Like in Nook, you can just use it's an online website, so one can use it simply. And as for the internet, cyber cafes can be used here as well.
For reading it again, we have to buy it again. And even if I want you to say that try buying an ebook, it's there, it is written that for how much time it is gonna to be with you, for 2 years, for 4 years. If you want to buy for 4 years, you have to pay this much. If you want to buy for 6 years, you have to pay this much. Try buying it. I tried it.
And also there's a fear of piracy in the ebooks which you are reading is a copy of it, like it's justified by the person who is making a copy of it. Maybe there's a copyright over there.
Think there is
So how can you be
also a
sure of that?
Okay, but
piracy of
don't you think that
book,
it
like
costs okay, but don't you think that it costs going to the library and then read the book? To go to library and then read a book, it consumes your time, your energy, as well as your money. But whereas ebooks are easily available.
What
Agree.
about the
And
energy used for charging the ebook, like the electronic device? Or maybe if you are using Kindle, there's a battery over there. So you need to replace the battery once it's over. Maybe you can charge it. So over there, the energy is needed. That's electricity. There's electricity bill for that. And if you're like replacing the battery, there's another bill for that. And if you're talking about an electronic device, they are like the cost of maintaining it. Maybe it's broken, you have to pay again. And like of monetary loss if you are buying an electronic device and then you are reading the ebooks there, or even if you are using a Kindle. So that's the thing for the
even
electronic
I
books.
also want to answer Sanvi's point that okay, we would go to a library and we would read a book, we would pay the charges also. You can say it cost, but it doesn't cost too much to our health. While the ebooks would cost more to our health than to the money. So we have to choose money and health.
Yes,
And that's why printed book is very better for us. Very
I
better.
agree to what my teammate
And I
has said,
also
that
want to
Guys,
add
health
one
one
more
minute.
is
point.
the first.
1 minute. Sorry to disturb. Okay, I'd like to give a chance to Priyangi Agarwal to speak. I think she's not getting a chance, so let her speak,
Yes.
and then you guys can continue.
So as we can say, ebooks can vivid, colorful digital for physical book. For art connoisseurs, true readers, and true bookworms, print is the only medium that may only satisfy them. And all, and also 66 as a source of information. 66% of young adult readers find printed books better. So how about that?
And I also want to add one more point, that ebook cannot give you the same sense of achievement as a printed book.
A printed book is very less as compared to electronic device. That's also a matter of concern over here.
Having said that, children can also become easily distracted while reading a print book. Can you tell this?
Can you please justify that how a child is distracted reading a printed book? Because if he is reading an ebook, he would be distracted by messages, by calls, Even he could be distracted by games or any other thing, but how a printed book.
Also, majority of small children like to read from a book in their hands, not from an electronic device. Like many children
I
want
don't
a
think
book
so.
in
Like
their
I
hands
have a younger
to
sister,
see.
and she is never interested in reading a book. Even though when I was younger, you was younger, we just find reading a book is like a burden to us. Whereas an ebook provides an audio option, interacting videos, and we can change font color, background color. So that is really very interesting for a child to read. It
And
just
I also
attracts him really.
Uh, and I also want to add one more point to Rashika's point that even if you're distracted for the time being from a real book, it will engage you back once you see it. And this may not happen in the case of an ebook.
I myself read ebooks, so I don't think so. That is agreeing to my point of view because I am always like, what happened next and what is the chapter which is going to happen in someone's life. If you have the engagement, if you really have the passion for reading books, then you will never lose your interest or engagement in reading a book.
Also, when we all were children, our teacher our teachers narrated the story to us, and it was a very fun loving experience as they narrated the story to us. But if ebooks will be there, only alone will read the books alone and no
Interactive sessions in itself is beneficial for the children, like they feel connected to the parents or the person who is narrating it, but that's not what happens with the ebook. So the child feels lonely if they're like okay, the
Also,
child
that
will
like
use the
if a
ebook,
teacher
but
is giving
at some point they'll feel lonely that there's no one to support them or tell them anything. Like if someone is narrating something to them from a book, there are some like extra points which they tell, maybe they relate it with something that makes it even more interesting than ebook. They are mostly fascinated by the printed books.
I also want to add a point that when we are using a printed book and we read it in front of a child, the child can see the pictures sitting with us as the printed book is big enough for both or two readers to sit together and read, but the phone is not big enough to sit together and read.
Why
Of
not? Then
printed
we
books
can.
available, like the pop-up books which are there, they makes the children even more interested to read. Like they puts a 3D effect and that makes the children fascinated and mesmerizing for them, and they are like even more interested to read now. So how would you like to justify this?
I wanted to say that in the ebooks, one is not easily distracted. Like as Rashika said, that in the printed books, there are we can just see the as in the ebooks also we can display it in our laptops. Why can't we use the laptops? Is there, I don't think that it is necessary to use phone. We can also use the laptops. And one more thing, during the ebooks we can also listen to the song. Like if we are using one more, if you are using an electronic device, why not shall we use it in two ways? We can listen to a song and can, it makes a child very interacted with the book. He feels really nice reading the book, listening to the song. That in the case of ebooks, there if there is a small child, he cannot read a book which is not related for his age, or you can say which is not fine for his age. But whereas in the case of the printed books, there can be a child can easily buy, or you can say a child can in the library can read a book which is not favorable to him. But in the ebooks, the computer will not allow, the settings will not allow the child to read the book under his age. Can you please
So I also want to add one more point to Sanvi's point that when we read an ebook on a laptop on any other device, our phone will ring several times or someone will message you and we will get distracted. So how will you justify that that we will get distracted and like that?
And for reading a ebook, like even if a person time where you will be like, just let me just leave the screen for a minute. But in the case of printed books, you can read it to your wish, like maybe for a few hours. Okay, you can take breaks in the middle, but that won't cause any hazard to your eyes. But in the case of the ebooks, there'll be a strain on your eyes, there'll be dryness. And also, if you use that ebook before sleeping, it will make you feel puzzled when you wake up. And if in this case you use the printed books, it will dizziness or something like that. It will on the contradictory, it will just help you sleep better, or maybe feel relaxed. You'll forgot the worries. You'll be just engrossed in the story which is there, or the novel which you're reading. But in the ebooks, you are like you were using your phone the whole day, and you want to take a break from that, and you want to just read a book and be engrossed in the story. For that, you will have to take a printed book, not so how would you like to justify this?
I also want to say a point to Shanvi's point that the child would go to a library and read a book that is not well for his age, supported for his age. So didn't the parent would see on it? Didn't the parent would move with the child to see what he is reading? And I think that parents keep more eyes on a child when he is in the age of growing, in his childhood age, when he need to with him.
Read the books at their home instead of going to the library, which is far from your home. They like to read the books at their home with the printed book which they have. They'll be like, this is their book, they own it, so it will be better for them to read it. So you can't say that always a child will go to the library to see the books which aren't of their age. The parent is there, or maybe the guardian is there. They are there for to look into the matter. And also, if you're using the computer on the phone, it's not always the case. There are some like tabs through which you can break the security of whatever it is there. So you can't, there's always a loophole in such securities. So if a person want to do that, they can do it in the case of ebooks also. So how do you like?
And two, I want to add that a small child, when knows an alphabet, supposedly A, how far you support that in a book in which he could write A from an pencil or a color, which whatever he's going to use, he can write that same thing in for write. He don't have that grip. He don't know how to write. He can't memorize that word, that letter he want to memorize.
Actually,
I
accepting
would
your own
like
problems, we also have solutions for these. For example, the first problem that you said was the screen problem. We can even have eye brightness and we can lower its brightness. And for the second problem, you said that we cannot write on a laptop. Let me tell you, we also have a write online. We can even copy. We don't have to even mark it. We can even copy and paste it and then get the meaning of these words.
And
I would like to say one thing
Also,
here
if
that
you
uh,
I also want
the
to
point
add one
of
more
the health
point.
hazard hasn't been justified yet. Like even if you use that safeguard classes which are there, there's still the raises are still there. How would you like to justify? No device has been yet invented that has like blue light is in there, radiation is in there, nothing is there. Like how would you like to justify here?
Some special kind of laptops are made which are clear cut laptops, and those laptops can be specifically used for those people who really are conscious about their eyesight.
But those are very costly. The cost of buying it, then the cost of maintenance, then the cost of the internet, cost of the damage or the replacement. So that's still a big investment, you can call. not investment like a big loss of.
800 book and it costs more than $80,000 and having an investment of 80,000 rupees, not dollars, having an investment of 80,000 rupees, which is having a numerous number of books present in that. Is and it is also not hazardous to your health, specifically eyesight. So that is a great option, and a person would definitely choose that instead of having a library which only contains 80 books and it is like far away from having more than books, more than the number of.
Person will be able to read those 80,000 books? Like, will they have, like nowadays, will everyone have enough time to read that in one day? Maybe it will take a lot of time. What about the
Not in
maintenance?
one day,
And
but
like, if they're engrossed in doing that,
And
then there'll be a health hazard. Okay, and then one day will come when the device will stop working. You'll have to throw that away, and then there'll be environmental hazard here. You can't stop that. Even if you like repair it, there's a cost for that over there. If you are like going to read so many books, you need internet,
and
you need a nice stability. Or even if you are reading it on Kindle, there's a battery, you have to charge that. Then another, then now the electricity bill comes. So you can't say that like if you
I would
buy
like
a
to cross
electronic device, your work is done. There are so many monetary
and I
money which you
also
have to give away even after buying a single electronic device for reading the book.
Also
So how
want
do
to
you
add.
justify this?
and I
Possibly, if
also
you
want
have
to
to.
add one more point to we can do the brightness level low. And if we will do the brightness level low, how will we read the book?
No, I
Another
would
thing
like to
I
add
want to
Doing the
say
brightness
to
level low is like
Some
Sarah's.
of the
itself
little
a
text is
stress. Like if you do the brightness of the ebook which you're reading, if you put it to low, that will provide stress to your eyes. That here the health hazard comes. So how would you like to justify this? Lowering
And
the
I
brightness
also.
isn't a solution.
Add here is uh, like if you want to take your any favorite book at school, you can't take your electronic device in school. You have to take a printed book, or else you can't. If you have periods, you can read that book.
that's why computer labs are moving from school, Priyangi. And now, Simran, I would like to start answering your question, and I would like to start. You told me and my team that a lot of waste is being spent when we are purchasing a device. So, don't you think that if we are making a separate room in for a library, or not even separate room, a separate corner, the maintenance of the cost first, the maintenance of the book. If a book is stored up, we need to renew that book, and electricity as well in devices such as Kindle or phone. We just don't require that much of energy. Like charging one Kindle takes up to 3 to 4 days or 5 to 6 days. It can last up to a week, right? And using a phone lasts up to like 1 day or 2 days if we charge it to 100%. So I don't think so. There is a problem in maintaining an library, or there is a I don't think so there is a problem in maintaining an ebook rather than maintaining a whole library where a lot of electricity. If you are sitting in a library room, that the electricity bill, the fan bill, you can't sit in like summer. You can't sit without a fan, obviously, or even
I would like to add my point here that I'm not saying to make a whole personal library at your home. There are public libraries are invented or maybe invented for this
public
purpose only, so that person can
libraries
go and
are.
read the book which they wish. And even for reading an ebook, don't you need a fan for that? You will like you will sit without the fan, and the light will sit without that, and you'll just read a ebook. Is that what you want to say?
Now
Also
a
want to
person
add a point that.
Sorry to interrupt. We are reaching we're reaching the end of the time. So if you wanted to extend it further, we can do it. So do you want to extend it further or you want to present your conclusion and solution? Do you want to do that? You can tell me. Based on that, we'll decide.
We can present the conclusions now.
So
Okay, so you don't, you're done with debating, right?
Actually, I just want to ask one question. So like,
Yes,
so like if
ask.
a person is done reading a book, so like they would have to go to the library again to purchase a new one. But if like you're reading it online, you can easily search another book and read it.
Jasmine, this is, I'm asking you whether you want to continue the debate or you want to go for conclusion
I
presenting the
think we should
solution.
continue with the debate.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's go for, how many of you want to continue the debate? Please raise your hands. I'm repeating it again. Those participants who want to continue the debate, please raise your hands. Okay, so far we got only 4 votes for continuing the debate. Okay, please drop your hands. You don't live. Who want, who are supporting that they want only now the debate is over, debating is done, and now they want only the conclusion, presenting the solution. Please raise your hands. Okay, so okay, we'll wait for some more 1 minute. Okay, so only 3 participants. Okay, so we'll be continuing the debate. You can continue it, but then till 5:45, till 5:40, you can continue with the debate, and at 5:40 teams conclusion and solution. Got it? Any doubts?
Got it.
now,
Yeah, okay. Thank
So
you.
I
Please
wanted to
continue.
ask that as you mentioned that we can recycle the paper for reusing the paper and it would less cost you and it would save the trees as well. But not everyone recycles the paper, as you have seen in today's world. Not everyone recycles the paper, and moreover, from just recycling, and what about the soil erosion and what about the deforestation? Can you please give reasons for this?
Yeah, I would
And
like to
actually,
give the
I just want to add
reasons
a
for
question.
this that
I
I would like to give the reasons for this that like if you're saying we are not saying to recycle just one piece of paper. Nowadays the awareness is being spread, so the campaigns are being made for recycling. Like you can give the pages or the recycle or to recycle your book or maybe the pages. No one gives one page; they give a lot many pages, which of our school only. Over there, they are like they are the clubs which collect the recycled pages or the notebooks, which they recycle and they convert into different notebooks and they donate to other people. So you can't take that point into consideration that
we
recycling
can't,
can't be done. It can be done.
And I
can't
also
say soil erosion and deforestation taking place, because see, we are recycling paper again. We are using the paper after recycling paper from one tree, which is made from a tree.
Using a paper also requires to establish a factory, and establishing a factory also means that we are used somehow how we are using either
Don't
a
you think
fertile
that
land
we need
or
a
we are
factory
deforesting.
for producing the Kindles and the electronic devices? A factory is required there
Factories are
also.
also
No,
being
you
set
can't say
up.
that without factory you can make an electronic device on your own. You will need
Basically, not
materials for it.
factories. We need
Factories are
offices.
already
I also
multiple
wanted to
factories. Samsung has already a lot of phones, like we can say a lot of offices and factories are there which can be used. So I don't think so that's a problem. But every day the printed books, a new publisher of printing books is upcoming, and then they are requiring a large amount in publishing book and
And even for the
publishing this.
electronic device, don't you think that you will need to expand the factory for producing more number of phones or like the electronic devices? Even if you don't expand the factory, you'll have to put the machines and the machines there'll be environmental hazards in that, like the materials used for the machines. So you can't say that making a phone won't cause any environmental. There are many, like the phone itself after discarded becomes a poisonous, and that's a threat. So you can't say that when once a electronic device is made, nothing is, no part of the environment is harmed. It
And
is
when
harmed.
you make paper once, that doesn't become a threat. That could be recycled, that could be used for composting. Both ways you can use that. And soil erosion and deforestation, that was talked by Sanvi, are not gonna to occur, because see, the paper which is made from one tree is used again and again. Yes, it's not used for many,
How many times
it's
you can
not recycled
use?
many times,
Don't you
but
think you will need to clear the land there? You will need to clear that. Deforestation comes here, soil erosion comes
when
here. So you
I
can't say
think
for producing a electronic device, you won't cause any health, not the health hazard, I mean the environmental hazard. You can't
this
say that.
the solution is that it is not important to always buy an electronic device. You can go to the places from where you can rent an electronic device for some period of time, and then
Yes,
you
I
can
will
read the book.
half add your account, then you will buy
think
it,
guest
and
mode is there
log
in
out
every
that
device.
account.
Guest mode is there. So I don't think so. Even in our school computers, I am mostly present in our ATL lab. So I am not always logging in and logging out. I am just using guest mode to keep my data and
Uh,
privacy safe.
those computers had the account with the school. It's connected with the school account, a system in the school. They all are connected. But if you are
If
renting,
we are
how far
renting a
is it
device, they
connected?
also
There, okay, and like you need to have internet at your home to to make that device work. So there the monetary thing comes. So you can't say that buying an electronic device won't cause, or even if you're renting it, there's still the cost is still there. The internet cost is still there. To use that, you need the maintenance, like for the home, the appliances for that you need. The cost is involved everywhere in case of electronic device. But for a printer, you can just buy it yourself and you can read it anytime you wish.
different as per buying. We can buy a device as well, which is used for which by which you can use multiple time, or even if in a single device, in a single Kindle, there are number book of present. But if a book is costing, a particular good book is just costing 800, like 800 rupees, approx 800, or let's not even say 800, 500 rupees. So that is a lot of amount. And if you want to buy, it's a, let's say it's a three-parter book, so that would be a problem of either we can rent a book. If we rent book, again, the renting choices is there, as we are renting a phone or a device in a lab or something, then there's the renting cost is the same here. So that is a
500
factor.
How
is
can you say that all the
a
parts
cost
of
of
the book
Wi-Fi.
are available as a ebook? They are not. That's not always the case that for every book you find the ebook on the net. You can't find it every
Also,
time.
I would like to add for the
Also,
Zara that I would like to add for the Zara read the book. Then why can't you go to the ebook library and conveniently read from there?
Yeah,
Why?
also,
and
Actually,
if
I would
as
also,
like
per
to add a
Mansi,
question.
Sometimes it is also expensive, right?
And
Actually, I
I
would
would
like to
like
add
to
a
say that
question. So, like, once if a reader is done reading his or her book, they would have to go to the library again to purchase the book. But if they're reading it online, they can simply type it, and then, I mean, like, they can basically search for the book and they'll get it right there in front of them. So,
if they want to read, finish, means a book. Everyone knows that if you start reading a book, that would finish at a part of the day, at a part of time, you would finish reading it. So he could simply issue 2 or 3 books at the same time
that
and
would also
take them
save
home.
the cost.
After reading those all, he can come back.
A person
That
is
would be
not
more
able to
easier.
afford a single smartphone or rent a single phone, or not even a phone, they are not able to go at a cyber cafe and read a book, then how will they be able to read a book? They will be able to read a book pay 100 rupees, and a library is providing that book, so the maintenance cost will be also there. Let's say if the book is torn down, or the book is just like piece shattered into pieces, or it's just got wet, so maintaining that book will also get, and the library will also fine you for that. So it is as
But don't you think for maintaining an electronic device, the cost is involved there also? Maybe in case you dropped your phone and it cracked, so you'll have to go for a replacement of the screen. That point comes
and
in. And
But
also
in
for
the
the electronic device, that's not always the case. Money is more involved in an electronic device than in a printed book. Okay, you say that a book got wet, but what about your phone got wet? That
I
it will
agree
stop
that it
working?
costs much more money for an electronic device. But have you ever thought that in a little electronic device, a lot of books comes, whereas in the library you just have to issue one book and it really costs too
just
much.
like go walk up,
Actually, I would like to add a question. So, like, whenever we are going out somewhere for a trip or something, so like, if we wish to carry many books with us, so like, they will take a lot of space, right? But if we just use e-books, then like, they will take very less space, and like, they will be just basically inside our phones.
Yes,
I
I
would
would
like
like
to
to
add,
add on
I
that
would like
you
to
are at
point
a
So can you
out
be
some
also
I would
how
like to
you
point
be
out here that
But for
maybe there's
some
a
books, we have
place
to pay money,
where you
right?
can't.
In ebooks, we have to pay money for some books. Like Sanvi said, all the books are in our phone. So we have to pay money for the some books.
I would
And
like to
maybe there's
add
a
so
place
how can you be
where
so
you
sure?
can't have an internet connection. Maybe it's like the mountainous regions where like maybe the internet is not available. So they can just go buy a printed book and read it. You don't have to buy the electronic device for that. And maybe if you have electronic device and if the internet connection is not there, still the data charges are involved. So instead of doing that, one can just go take a printed book and just take it buy a
if
printed
the
book and just
internet
keep it with
connection is
yourself.
less, then
So
also there is no availability of library in the mountainous, or you can say the desert region. Then also there could be the shortage of library. How about that?
yeah.
But
I just
printed
want
books
to
are
say
still
a
available in
point.
the
That
market.
have a
You
library.
can't say that there's a place where there's no market or there's no library. There's always a library, or even if a library isn't there, there's a market. A market, it
Similarly,
has
there's
a
always
limitations, but
similarly there's always a shop of the smartphones, or you can say always a shop of a phone. And our country is getting advanced in the mountainous as well as in the desert, and as in any region there are a lot of network cables. There are connectivity issues. You cannot say that there are not connectivity issues. There are.
connectivity issues. I'm trying to say that the cost involved in the internet and then the maintenance of everything for electronic device, it's much higher than just buying a printed book or just taking it on rent.
And
Okay, if it is
sometimes
a
also,
okay.
Also want to say a point that if you take a printed book, think a printed book would cost your health or an ebook would cost your health. If we are spending a lot of money on printed book, as far you say, I'm
Will cost a
does it
lot
cost you your life? No. But in an ebook, if you are spending less money, it costs you your life, and comparatively, the cost becomes higher than the cost of an printed.
I totally think
And
opposite
just
of you.
Nothing is more important than the health of a person. So the person would like to first consider their health and then they'll like to see if
Again,
they'll
there
read
is
on
a
the
point
printed
of
books or electronic books. So they'll just consider the printed books in this situation. So how do you like to justify this?
There are solutions
and
for the
how can
Rashika's
you
questions harm our eyes. Then how about that if we just on the reading mode, like nowadays there are artificial intelligence that can read a book for us. From that our eyes doesn't harm, and we can just listen to them easily. And what about in the library, or in the case of the printed books, no one can dictate to us.
I just want to
But
add
what's the use of
if
the book if it's
however,
just being dictated to you? The purpose of reading the book won't be fulfilled that way. Like when you read a book, you have to you make a picture of that in your mind when you take that book in your hands and then you think about it, that's much better than just like you are listening to that. That becomes boring. That too
And I
without
also
images,
Actually, I
that's
would like
way
to add a
boring.
question here.
A person would like to take a printed.
And how
Actually, I
can
would like
we
to add a question here. So, like ebooks give dictionaries and thesaurus with them, right? But if we're having a doubt in any word in the printed books, so then how will we find out the meaning of that word?
Using a dictionary.
You can find, and finding in dictionary it's itself for adventure and the person enjoys it. Then just he'll be like you'll have to first
Just
type it,
finding
and then
dictionary
if the internet connectivity is slow, it will take time to load, and then after that he'll get to know the word. So that time taken, and that's not that fun as you go in a dictionary and then search for the word.
and how can you
And I
be
also
sure
want to add
that
one more
writing
point.
doesn't signal
I also want to add one more point to Simranjeet's point that if we look at a book and more to go before you finish reading it, and looking at the number of pages you have finished reading, you get encouraged and it increases our pace also. However, an ebook does not motivate us to complete a book in a similar way. So how will you
Like
justify this statement?
if you're using your phone or laptop for the whole day and then you just want to take a printed like you just want to read something, maybe a story or a novel of your choice, so then you would like to take a printed bold, and then even now for reading you will take the laptop again. Now that's health is that
Sorry to bother you.
you'll prefer taking a printed book in this situation. So how do you like to justify this?
I'm saying that sorry to bother you, but don't you feel that Zara is getting just that she's not getting chance to speak, like she's always getting ignored. So I would like Zara to, continue.
Yes.
Simran, can you please continue with your question so I can answer?
Zara, could you please repeat your question as you weren't
I was
audible?
just saying that you told a few moments ago you were saying that costing ebook and maintaining ebook will is hazardous to our health. You said that same line, right?
No, but also it's like it's hazardous to your health, and then you need the money also. So they're like a person would like to prefer their health more than their choice. They'll first see, and then the printed books will be the solution.
I
That's what
don't
I was
think
trying
that
to say.
printed books will be a solution as uh, printed books are also hazardous to our health somehow, indirectly, even though they are indirectly, not directly, but still they are. As if we are cutting a tree, there is deforestation, soil erosion, again, many issues with the environment, which eventually comes into helping, like, it is hazardous for us indirectly. And reading a
Of my opinion that in in the religious places, for example, you take Gurdwara, there's a holy book which is called the Guru Granth Sahib, and like you can't find, even if you find an ebook for that, you won't that won't feel nice. Like in the Gurdwaras, there's a recitation of that, and that makes you feel nice, the atmosphere and all that. But in the case of the ebook, it won't give the original feel of the book. Like even if you take a normal story book, the parts won't be available everywhere. Ago, you can't find it. So then what will
And
you do?
the
You'll just go simply
and
to the
how
market
can
and
you
buy.
be so sure about the viruses? How can I was saying, how can you be so sure that electronic device will not catch up any viruses? You can't, and we have to also safeguard our cyber security. We have to pay attention towards it. So can you just justify it?
We can just install the antivirus software like McAfee, and there are countless and can work for overall year and disinclude the viruses from our documents.
Kindle is a device
And
And
Zara,
for
how
the
will you
electronic
justify
device,
my
if you
statement?
are saying that you can install a antivirus, then
Participant
you'll
1
have to
minute.
pay for that if you want
Not
like,
even paying for antivirus if
and
you
even
have
if it's
Participant
free, you
there are
won't have.
So it
1 minute.
doesn't require any like
Listen, your time is debate timing is up. Now it's time to conclude and present your solutions. Identify your problems and what do you propose as a solution, and give the conclusion. And please decide conclude for against team. We can allot, like will allow 3 participants from each group to conclude. They can conclude and present their opinion. All right. Instead of 1, we are making it to 3 because you guys are still debating. So it will make it to 3 and you guys can. Any doubts or queries? For group, raise your hands who wants to conclude. Okay. Only one wants to conclude from the first group.
Actually, I'm from the against group.
I'm asking only for group. Please don't raise your hand in that case.
I
Okay,
would like
so
to conclude for the follow group. Shall I?
yeah, okay, 1 minute. Okay, 3 participants. Fine. Okay, you 3 can go and you can present your solution. I am having the problem. Go ahead.
So I would like to start and then we can move from the adjustment. So as a result, me and my team have placed and explained our opinion that ebooks are far better or better than printed books as they require less space, they are cheaper and publishers from and if we see from a publisher's point of view, it is very very cheap to publish up. And my conclusion with the statement that we might not be able to be around to see this ebook only in future, which will come. But we know a digital field is inevitable in our future, and we have laid multiple points. So thank you and have a nice day.
Okay, so I would like to continue with my conclusion. Like ebooks save a lot of time of us. The time is a very precious element in to a library, or you can say in going to any place like that. It saves our money because from just buying a single software, or you can say a kind of single equipment, we can access to many books. It also saves our energy, or you can see the energy of the people, because in though no energy of human is wasted in the printing and all, they are simply available anytime, anywhere, and else. Hence, I would like to conclude that the use of printed this is because printed books are harming the environment. One day in the future, there would be no trees, and it would might be because of the overprinting of the books. And ebooks must be favored by all of us.
Yeah, so I would like to conclude the statement by saying that we can also download free ebooks, because once an ebook is downloaded, it doesn't cost you a pie more to share it with your friends and family. Such masterpiece ebooks are the best gift to love. But if we are giving someone the printed books, we would have to spend a lot of money on it. Its shipping and manufacturing date will also be added. So yeah, thank you.
Now the against team may present their conclusion and solution.
Please raise your, yeah, you 3 can. Okay, we are having 4 participants to come. Okay, you 4 can
So
come.
I want to conclude that we should not go that ebooks are only to put in use to be put in use, or printed books are only to be put in use. We can use both of the books as per the situation we have, as per their fine medium for that situation. Where printed books are more beneficial, you can use printed books, and where the ebooks are more beneficial, we can use ebooks. But according to me, printed books are more than ebooks.
I would like to put my conclusion in the concentration that this debate would be endless and there are so many points which haven't been yet discussed, but I would like to say that books don't need any introduction. They're considered humans' best friends. They never complain or demand. Still, they can help you in so many ways. When you hold them in your hands, they give you a special feel. Nothing's better than a book in a hand and knowledge in the mind. I had a point here that not all printed books have an alternative of ebooks. For example, we take the holy books of different religion, like Guru Granth Sahib is there, Quran is there, the Holy Bible, or the Ramayana, Mahabharata. Even if you find the ebook for that, the feel won't be there. The original one, the feel which you get with the original one by seeing it or reciting it, that feel you won't get it. And also, there's a matter of piracy over here or piracy. Is a matter of concern to decide which ebook to which electronic device to buy or which Kindle or it can buy. And also the cost is a lot many times higher for buying electronic device and buying printed books. There's a cost for like buying it, then the replacement or the restore if it's there, and then the cost of using it. The energy is there and many more things. So to summarize, I would say that a printed book is very useful, exciting, inspiring, and
So I want to conclude that after a great debate listening to all the good pros and cons, I can conclude that both mediums, ebooks and printed books, have their justification. None can replace either of them. The selection of ebooks and printed books depends on the demands and on the target. For people loving technology, ebooks might be better option to go for reading books. But for the still like to read or hold the book in their hands and smell the pages, printing books might be the better option. So it all depends on the individual. Thank you.
So, in conclusion, I believe ebooks will not rule printed books in future, and also wanted to conclude the debate with a question that if if ebooks are a substantial resource when we are on an offline mode, and I wanted to say I follow one thing, that is a book is a gift you can again and again. Thank you.
And I request Abhiram to give his concluding speech.
Yeah, sure. So the Literature Festival team thanks the honorable judge and the valued participants for taking. I hope everyone has savored each moment in this debate. It has been a tremendous pleasure to hear all of you speak and debate against each other. Awards will be announced tomorrow in the closing ceremony. We have sent the link in the chat box, and our team will soon send a mail regarding the closing ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhiram. Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful listening to your opinions. I think we all stand divided by our opinions only by the fact that reading is a wonderful habit. It was really nice listening to all your points. I'm an avid reader myself, but there are so many points that I discovered today after listening to your arguments. So it was definitely a pleasure listening to you. So best wishes to each one of you, and looking forward to the results tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, could you please give us give us about your experience regarding this literature festival and this competition?
Okay. No, today what happened was fine. I guess a little more time management would have really helped. It is always advisable or suggested that you can have the PPT running in the background, which has all the rules and everything. so that the people who are participating can actually have a visual reference to that. So that's one tip I can give you for your future festivals. Yes, everything was fine. Like I said, there are so many points that I came across about books. I am an avid reader, like I told you, and I was a hardcore paperback reader for a long time. But ever since my baby was born, it was very hard for me to hold on to a hardbound book. So that is when I shifted from paperback to ebook. But the love of reading has not gone. So, like most of you have concluded in your concluding statements, the love of reading shall remain and will only deepen, whether it is. So that's how I agree with all of you.
Thank you, ma'am, and participants and esteemed moderator. We apologize that we could not extend it further because we have extended it twice from 5 to 6. So that's all. We couldn't extend it further. Now I would like to request the participants to give their opinion, experience, or any suggestions for us so that and in the subsequent events we can make it much better. Yes, Simranjit Kaur, you can give your opinion.
I would like to put my opinion into concentration that this was one of the best debate which I ever had. I have had other debate competitions as well, but this was one of the most productive one which I had. I got to learn so many things, and even preparing for it was kind of an adventure, and I really enjoyed it. Wish to have more such events. I want to say thank you very much and have a nice evening.
I also want to support Simranjeet because this was a very interactive session in which all of you got interacted and all of you have answers. All of you have a good conversation on a very beautiful topic and the topic I like the most.
Thank you.
Yeah, firstly, I would like to appreciate the event coordinators who were just going so much better for making the event being a great success. And I hope this event goes to a great and reach a large amount of height and success in the future as well. And I have also been to other debate competitions where I got prizes, but this debate competition was another level because I was not even with like I was competing so that is another level of experience because usually we do it in one team and me and my friends are in one team, but today we were against each other, so that was another like experience that was an star struck experience I could usually say. And thank you, and everything was totally great.
Thank you, Zara. Yes,
And I would
Priyangi.
also like to suggest that if we could increase the time for debate, that would be an amazing.
Sorry about the react that, but we tried because we already the meeting was supposed to get over at 5. We extended it twice. Next time we can start a little bit early, then we can have much more.
Actually, it started late as well. I guess it started at 4, so that's
Yeah, that was the problem. The moderator didn't join, so it's fine. We'll work on it. Yes, Priyangi and Sanvi, you can share your.
So it was a great evening working with all of you. That every participant was taking a part and everyone was really engaged in the debate. So hope literature festival organizes more festivals like this.
Sure. And Sanvi, yes, go ahead.
I would like to really appreciate and respect that you put on your efforts. And it was a very nice time I had with you all and having a debate with you. And especially, I would like to appreciate the efforts put on by the staff members. Like you are always with us throughout the debate from 3 p.m. to the 6 p.m. It's like it's like right now 6 p.m. and you have been working since 3 hours and putting your concentration completely on us. I would like to really appreciate, and I would like to suggest you that you should organize more festivals like this so that everyone could get a chance to participate. And thank you.
Is it possible for me to add one more? Actually, I couldn't mention this point earlier. It just skipped my mind that the moderators which were there with us, they were like one of the best one which I have been with. Like in the earlier debate, there was a fuss was created and like it was difficult for the moderators to control. But in this one, it was the best. Like everything was controlled. We got to understand what each other was saying, and it never felt like we were just there and with each other. It felt like it was polite and professional. So thank you to everyone and the organization and the moderators who were present with us. Thank you so much.
That credit actually goes to the participants because you have maintained the order and decorum. And like we were like, though the volunteers, I and moderator were there, but we never stepped on to stop fighting because you all were controlled and you showed your you followed all the rules and guidelines. Appreciate that from your side. Yes, Jasmine.
Yes, so I really appreciate being a part of this competition, and I had a really fun time answering the doubts and basically asking questions. It was a really fun competition. So
Okay, thank you so much. And also, we have posted the closing ceremony link and details in the chat box. So please copy that link and join tomorrow at 4 p.m. So you can join with that link. Thank you. You can, after you copy the link, you can leave from the meeting. Thank you all for joining us
I would
and
like to
making it
ask
such
that
a
we will be getting an official mail with the link provided, or we will not get an official mail.
Can you repeat it again, Zara? I'm sorry, I could not hear you properly.
I said that are we getting an official mail with the link provided in that mail, or
Yeah, we'll try to send the mail too, but in case if it's due to some technical issue, we won't be able to send. That's why it's better you just copy it. We are sending it in the chat box too. So
Please, if you
just
can
copy it.
clarify the timings of the
No,
ceremony.
the timings are from 4 o'clock. It starts from 4 and it will mostly get over by 6.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
thank you.